Our widows research really started over a year ago when the Society of Financial Service Professionals asked me to speak at their advanced clinic. Afterward, the editor of their journal invited me to submit an original research paper for publication. What I'm sharing now is a quick summary of our study. But first, some of you may have seen the original TV cop series or reruns of Dragnet starring Jack Webb. He played Detective Sergeant Joe Friday. Now, a signature line of Sergeant Friday was always, "The facts, ma'am, just the facts." So here are some basic facts about widows. Some may really surprise you. 7 out of 10 widows fire the couple's advisor after their husband dies. Now, this fact generally gets professionals' attention real quickly. Think of the ramifications: the widow losing all the planning that preceded their spouse's death and the impact on the advisor's business when a widowed client walks away. 8 out of 10 men die married. But conversely, 8 out of 10 women die single. They were never married, were divorced, or widowed. Yes, more women end up on their own. Consider all the consequences for these widows, including their money matters. 1 million women a year join a club nobody likes. 70% of married baby boomer wives will experience widowhood. 59.4 is the average age a wife becomes a widow, and 70% of the expected inheritance of $41 trillion in the coming decades is going to women, including widows. Sometimes financial advisors have an aha moment when they put these facts together. It's like, maybe I should be working with more widows. But why haven't I read or heard much about widows and their money matters? During the 2015 Purposeful Planning Institute conference, one breakout session speculated about this lack of evidence-based research concerning widows. They identified 4 main reasons: no access to a national database of widows. Most researchers are men who study other topics. Advisors are comfortable with the technical side of financial planning, but not the personal side necessarily. And funding for widows research isn't readily available. But some of us said, we want to listen to widows. We think we can overcome these obstacles and do some good empirical, evidence-based national research. We want to lift up awareness about widows and their financial issues. And so our research team came together. The team included Kathleen Rehl, that's me, Carolyn Moore, she's the founder and director of the national nonprofit The Modern Widows Club, Linda Leitz, a PhD candidate at Kansas State University and a planner, Dr. John Grable at the University of Georgia, plus several focus groups of important widows and professionals. We invited 2,400 members of the nonprofit Modern Widows Club to participate in our national survey research, and we were blown away with the responses. 1,100 widows opened their online surveys. That's a 46% response rate. Many researchers are happy to just get 30%. Our research was published by the peer-reviewed Journal of Financial Service Professionals. This scholarly periodical is highly respected by advisors. Since then, we've been contacted by others about this groundbreaking national research. In other words, there's a great interest in working with widows and knowing more. Our research questions focused on financial confidence, widows' current financial confidence, how their confidence changed after becoming a widow, what could increase their confidence, and whether they believed other widows wanted to be more financially confident. We also looked at who influenced widows' financial decisions, how they managed money before hubby's death, and the advisor's impact. Our team felt that looking at widows' confidence would be an excellent starting point. It's well established in psychological and behavioral finance literature that feelings influence behavior. Poor client decisions can be driven by factors such as emotion or lack of confidence, for example. Our survey included 9 measures of financial confidence. You can see these being added to the screen now. We asked widows to rate their levels of confidence with a Likert-type scale. Not surprisingly, half of the widows weren't as confident currently compared with before their partner's death. Only a quarter felt more confident, and there was no change for the others. But the big statistic emerged when we looked at widows influenced by a financial planner versus those who weren't. With all 9 measures of financial confidence, Those influenced by planners were more confident than those not impacted by a planner. I mean, we're talking about a significant level of 0.001. No random differences at all. So exciting. So what were the other influences on widows? Our survey gave them 12 choices to pick. They could identify one or more of these choices. Financial professionals came out on the top. Next most impactful influencers were an adult child or friend. Some widows also wrote in that their dead husband was helping guide their decisions, and many others said no one. How did widows manage finances before their spouse died? Many women said it had been a shared responsibility, or at least was periodically discussed together. In 21% of the cases, hubby did it all, and some of us have certainly worked with those clients. Notice that only 10% had worked with a professional together with their spouse before his death. We gave widows the chance to tell us more, and 163 took the time to write a few words or even paragraphs. Some responses were funny, like, "Love and widow brain makes you stupid. Don't listen to your post-widow boyfriend." Others were heartbreaking, like, "Since my husband committed suicide, I couldn't collect his life insurance, and that crushed me financially." 473 women volunteered to talk privately. Widows want to increase their financial confidence. Their top suggested way to do this is by finding trusted advice, a thinking partner, a guide. Second way was having more money or assets. Third was more financial education to better understand money. And fourth was finding a better job or improving their career. And there were 9 other areas that were also mentioned. A key finding of this study is that working with financial professionals leads to more financial confidence among widows. Many widows want more education, and financial professionals could step in there. We're encouraging advisors to get advanced training in working with widows, and more research is certainly merited. We've only just begun. Thank you so much for your interest in our work.